Well, hey everybody, I'm back with RMT again. Today we're going to take a look at some new pieces of their ultra affordable line of rolling stock, and it's coming up right now on Eric's Trains. So the last time I did a video on RMT, it got quite a lot of views, and rightly so, because RMT has become very popular because they have a line of rolling stock that is quite accurately detailed and yet very, very affordable. So today I've got 7 new pieces of rolling stock here. We're going to take a look at these 4 first because I got these a little while ago. The other 3 I just got from Walter at RMT, and we'll take a look at those afterwards. But let's start by unboxing these. So with these 4 cars, we've got a new ore car, New York Central. We've got a wood chip hopper, which is really cool. That's something brand new. We've got a tank car, a Reading tank car, and then this is really exciting. We've got a CPKC boxcar. Now, the cool thing about all 4 of these is that they all cost exactly the same. RMT charges the same price for every car they make, and that is $39.95. Yeah, these are super affordable. They're not quite as inexpensive as something from Menards, but they're also more detailed than Menards. And so, like I said in the previous video, I would slot these right above Menards, but below something like Rail King or something like that. So it's very affordable, but it has nice details. I mean, there's really nothing to hate here. These are great. New York Central Pacemaker ore car. See if I can get this open. There we go. Might need my knife. All right, so there is that new Pacemaker ore car. Very nicely done. You know, the quality, it's probably not going to be as high as something like Atlas or MTH or the high-end Lionel stuff. But for the price, I mean, you just can't beat it. These things are incredible. And when I was talking to Walter, the guy who runs RMT, I was talking to him at York, and he was talking about, you know, he is so proud of these, and it's so great to see a train guy making train stuff. He worked for the railroad for a long time, and so he's very into train stuff, and it shows. So for instance, if you look at these wheels, you'll see they've got that sort of spiral ribbing on the back ends. Well, that's how real railroad wheels were made back in the day. I don't know if they're still made that way, but old school rail wheels were made that way. That's how the molds were made. And so that's a very prototypically accurate thing. And, you know, it's something that most people will never notice, but Walter really wanted to get it right. So yeah, I mean, just really good attention to detail, even at a budget price. Can't beat that. And these are die-cast metal trucks, metal wheels, plastic body, of course. I mean, beautifully done. So we've got our Reading and Northern boxcar, and something else that Walter was talking about at York was how proud he was of these boxes, and rightfully so, because these are very nicely done boxes. One of the little things that you may not notice is that they've got a white piece of cardboard back there to help the car stand out more, give it a white background and help it pop out more. Very subtle, but that's a great attention to detail. And another thing he's very proud of is that the labels are on both sides of the box, not just one. He said, you know, it cost like an extra 2 cents to put the labels on both sides, so he went ahead and did it. I mean, really, that's the kind of stuff a train guy would do. By the way, if you ever get a chance to talk to Walter from RMT when he's at York or somewhere, do it. He's a great guy, super fun to talk to. We sat there for like 45 minutes just talking about how proud he is of these cars. So here's our tank car. Very nice. Now, Walter showed me a little trick with these tank cars. Check this out. You know, with these older tank cars, at one point they did not have the platforms, and then later on they added the platforms. So if you want to model the era of these tank cars where they did not have the platforms, all you do is pull the platform off. How cool is that? So you can sort of model 2 eras of these cars, or 2 versions of these cars, just by putting that platform on and off. You see what I'm talking about? This is what happens when a train guy is running a train company. Little stuff like that. Again, you've got those spirals on the wheel, a little easier to see on this car. There's a close-up for you. I mean, these are beautifully done. Really nothing to complain about here. And for 40 bucks, I mean, you just can't lose. Oh, and I'm adding this in after the fact. I also discovered that the hatches on these tank cars open up like that. It just keeps getting better. Okay, now let's check out the wood chip car. This is my favorite of the four. So we've got a Canadian National wood chip car. And there is that white background I was telling you about. They pop that in there, and it just helps the cars pop out more when you see them in the box. Check that out. Got little simulated wood chips up here. It's plastic, but for 40 bucks, what do you expect? The doors do open. Pretty neat. I suppose if you wanted to, let me see, you could probably, no, that's in there pretty good. If you wanted to, you could probably pop that out and put in your own wood chips, but that would be quite a job. But yeah, it looks great. Nice underframe detailing. Nice trucks. Nice decoration. 40 bucks. Can you believe that? 40 bucks. And lastly, likely everybody's favorite because of the recent merger, we've got the CPKC boxcar. Final Spike Steam Tour. Canada, USA, Mexico. There it is. Beautifully done, especially for $40. The doors open, and check it out. There's a little load inside the boxcar. $40, and there's a load, and there's labels on the boxes. And it looks like that print is legible. I can't exactly see what it says. I'll do a magnification and put it on the screen what it says. But yeah, $40. You get die-cast metal trucks. You get opening doors. You get a load on each side. There's one there and one there. I mean, it's fantastic. Look at that. It's even got decoration on the roof. Wow. It's incredible. All right, then we have these last three, and these are special because Walter just sent them to me, so I think they're brand new models, or at least brand new paint schemes. And he also sent me a nice note. So he said, "Hey Eric, nice meeting you at York. Congrats again on your marriage to a fine lady that likes your train hobby too." Yes, she does. I'm enclosing some new RMT cars for you to check out and review if you would like to. So we've got another tank car, Mid-Continent Oil, a prototypically inspired replica oil company car. Check out the removable walkway. I already showed you that on the previous tank car that allows a customer to backdate the car to an earlier era, and it's a scale model of an 8,000 gallon tank car. Then we've got a wood-sided reefer. I'm really excited about this. So it's High Iron Farm Milk Woodside Reefer Car, represents a 35-foot woodside reefer car. Scale dimensions, reference to my family farm. I guess that was his family farm at one point. I can do that as I own the company. You see, he can do stuff like that. Opening side doors, die-cast underframe piping and brake wheel, couplers, trucks, and air hose detail. How come the other train companies don't offer these features on all their cars? On the new Bettendorf-style friction bearing trucks, check out the raised lettering on the side frames. We'll check that out. Nobody else does this. And also note that there are two different journal box covers, as if in real life one was damaged and the railroad just replaced it with any other cover. That's really cool. I can't wait to see that. Check out the swirls inside the wheel. I already showed you that to represent the casted wheel and the raised RMT name on the outside of the wheel bowl. I'll show you that. I didn't show you the RMT name that's embossed into the wheels. And then we have a 3-bay coal hopper, Bethlehem Steel Mines. Represents a 70-ton 3-bay car. First time this car style has been produced by RMT. 300 different road numbers. Wow. Removable coal load is included, not like Lionel that charges extra for the coal load. That's true. Also has new Bettendorf trucks and its scale 1/48 dimensions. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for what you do to promote the 3-rail hobby. And all these cars are the same $39.95 price. So let's check them out. We'll start with the coal hopper. Bethlehem Coal and Coke coal hopper. Oh yeah, I can see what he's saying. There is raised lettering on the trucks. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video. Let me try to get it close. If I can't get it, I'll show you a close-up picture that I take. But there is raised lettering on these trucks. How cool is that? Oh, and there's the lettering on the wheels. Again, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it says RMT on the little bowl of the wheel right there. And again, I'll show a close-up picture if I can't see it in the video. The hatches at the bottom open. How cool is that? And the coal load is removable, although I'm not going to try to remove it right now. It probably takes a little effort. I'd rather just leave it in there. And there's those air hoses. Now, MTH does that. Atlas has done it from time to time. Lionel doesn't typically do that. But yeah, I mean, on both sides you have those air hoses. I mean, this is beautifully done for $40. My mind is blown. Okay, now we'll check out the other tank car. This is a Mid-Continent Oil single dome tank car. There that is. And once again, that platform, you can just pop it off and pop it back on as desired. So cool. And saving the best for last again, here is our wood-sided reefer. Man, just even in the box, it looks incredible. So it is the High Iron Farm Milk wood-sided reefer car. And again, like Walter said, he based it on his family farm. Kind of did an homage to his family farm. I'm getting pretty good at doing these in one move. Let's see if I can do it again. It's like gutting a fish. Look at that. I mean, this reminds me of the Atlas wood-sided reefer cars. Of course, not quite as detailed as the Atlas versions, but then again, the Atlas versions are way more expensive. But look at that. Can you believe that you get this for $40? I wonder if the door's open. Yeah, they do. Wow. Look at that. The door's open. And they've even got the little latch there like real milk cars have. I mean, this is just insane. Wow. Got that high brake wheel. Okay, here's the real test. Do these top hatches open? They probably don't. No, they don't. Okay. I would be beside myself if those top hatches opened on a $40 model. Again, nice underframe detailing. It says ready-made trains down there. There's those Bettendorf trucks with the writing on the side. Now let me see if I can see what he was talking about with the journal boxes, the mismatched journal boxes. Oh yeah, they don't match. Look at that. If you take a close look, that journal box cover does not match that journal box cover. And he did that because on the real railroads, they would do that. If a journal box cover fell off, they would just replace it with any old one they had. It didn't necessarily have to match, and that's what he did here. That is such an incredibly subtle thing that 99.9% of people would never notice. You don't have to do it, but Walter did it anyway just because it's cool. And again, that gets back to this is what happens when a train guy is running a model train company. You get stuff like that just because it's cool. Not because it makes financial sense, not because it's necessarily going to help you sell more, but just because it's cool. Amazing. And again, $40. Can you believe that? Okay, so here they are on the layout. I've got some B-roll to show you, and I gotta say, these things look fantastic. And really, the biggest thing I have to say about this new batch of cars from RMT is that when I compare them to the first batch that I got a year or so ago, these are markedly better. The build quality is better. The detail is better. I mean, they've just done a better job of assembling these things and decorating them. And that's amazing that Walter has been able to get these things better and better as time goes on, and yet keep them at a super affordable price. And so with trains getting more and more expensive these days, it's so amazing to have an affordable option that looks and runs great. So I really salute RMT for that. Again, the price on these cars, no matter which car you get, no matter which road name you get, is right at $40, $39.95. Between RMT and Menards, I mean, they are cornering the ultra affordable segment of the market. Obviously, Menards is at the bottom. They are the most affordable trains. But if you want to pay a few extra bucks and get a little more detailing, RMT is a fantastic option. And so that's why, like I said, I slot them just above Menards and just below something like MTH Rail King. You've got more detail and a better overall build quality than Menards, but not quite as nice and high quality as something from MTH Rail King. And so, yeah, it just fits in that nice, affordable slot. It's a great balance of quality and price. I mean, you just can't beat it. Anyway, we're going to end this video by taking these cars for a spin around the layout. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. And I hope you're as happy as I am that we have this great option available to us that is this perfect balance of detail and quality versus affordability. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm Eric Siegel. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. I want to interject here just in case you're curious. I'm adding in this shot of this really long train so that you can see how the RMT cars look alongside cars from Lionel, Weaver, Atlas, MTH, and others. And so here you go. To discuss this model or any other O-Gauge model, or just to talk trains in general, check out the OGR online forum at ogrforum.com.